Now, listen. There's a lot of people, a lot of brothers. I gotta ask. You're being kind of called instead of Soncerae, you're being called Lazarus because you kind of like rose from the dead. I
I
don't mean.
did. I didn't
Yeah,
rise from the dead. See, here's the thing. Obsidian,
yeah,
you've been on YouTube for a long time. You
yes,
know how the trolling can get, and you know how bad the trolling got
I
went
do,
with me.
I do.
So all I did was throw my phone out the window for 5 months.
Okay,
And I was very irresponsible, and I did not like tell anybody, like my social media managers, I didn't tell anybody where I was. The only people that knew where I was me, my mom, my daughter,
okay.
and that's it. And so someone who was trolling, because the rumor of me commit suicide is not, that wasn't the first time that happened. 2020 wasn't the first year people started saying that. They started saying that shit in 2016.
So who
So
posted the Facebook post on your timeline then?
that I passed, I'm telling you, my social media managers that I passed away, my
Yeah.
social media managers, because they didn't know what I was doing. I didn't tell anybody. So it's my fault. So that's why it's still up there, because I want people to understand. I didn't delete it or anything. It's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Because what my social media managers did, I want people to understand that you can't make the mistake I did when you somebody like who I am. When you got assistants and managers and you got all these followers and stuff, you can't be the person that just decides to walk away and drop your phone for 5 months. Because when I came back and I noticed that everybody thought I passed away, I was shocked. I didn't know it spread that wide because I wasn't talking to anybody. But that was very irresponsible, and I know I hurt a lot of people when I did that. That's
Oh,
why when I came back on social media, I said, listen, y'all can't blame me for wanting to get off the internet for 5 months because the way that I was stalked and harassed. I had to move like 20 times
okay.
in California because people kept stalking me and finding out where I lived at and sending packages and pest control and damn money and all types of shit.
Right.
And I was just done. So I just logged off for 5 months and didn't tell anybody. And so when I came back and I saw that that was the rumor, I was upset. Now, someone had emailed me that, like, someone sent out a mass email saying I committed suicide, and that's what made me decide to log off to begin with. But
Uh,
I didn't know nobody had posted that. I didn't know someone had posted that until much later.
yeah.
So I was just like done. I was just like, you know what? And I took 5 more months off and just kept to myself because I needed to work on my mental health because people was just driving me crazy and I was miserable. I was sad. I was crying all the time. I was raising my son alone. It
Uh,
was just bad.
yeah, a lot of people have been asking what was going on, so I'm glad you covered that up, or not covered up. Excuse me, Freudian slip. I'm glad that you addressed it and cleared it up or clarified it. That is to say that there was a mix-up between you and your management team. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, like the people around me because I wasn't communicating. It's my fault. I'm not blaming anybody else. I'm
Yeah.
saying I did this. It was me because I wasn't vocal enough about where I was and what I was doing, and I was real irresponsible.
Yeah.
So I just let the rumor spread, and I shouldn't have done that. But I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't deal with the stuff I was dealing with.
Yeah.
So I
Now,
tried to come back and say that though. I
yeah.
did say that.
Yeah. Now you did say that you had some mental health concerns. Uh, did you get counseling for that? I'm just curious how you address that.
Yeah, I started getting counseling when I was pregnant.
Oh,
I started getting, yeah, I was in counseling the whole time. Like I needed somebody because nobody was hearing me. Like usually when you get on social media, somebody listening to you. But I
right.
felt like YouTube, y'all wasn't hearing me.
Do you
Y'all were
think
my,
that? Do you
wasn't
think
hearing.
that black people now this is an often a critique of the black manosphere. The argument will go something like this: You guys are using social media instead of getting counseling. Do you think that that's true?
With black men?
With the black manosphere in particular, the critique is you guys are using social media instead of getting counseling. Do you think that that's true?
Um, well, yeah, because most black men are kind of uncomfortable with going to the doctor in general. Like most of y'all need to go see if y'all got prostate cancer, and y'all don't even go to do that. Black men don't really like the healthcare field.
Why do you think
But I
that is?
mean, because I think healthcare professionals didn't necessarily know how to deal with people of color for a long time, so
Yeah.
they couldn't be trusted. Like I still to this day don't trust taking my son to the pediatrician. I'd be scared. because I know they don't really know, especially in California, they don't really know what it's like to take care of a black child.
Yeah.
When I gave birth to my son, they was confused in the hospital
Huh.
because they had never, my doctor had never had a black um, client before. All his clients were like Hispanic and white, and because I don't live in an area where it's predominantly black,
Yeah.
so it's like Asian, Latina,
Yeah.
Indians and stuff. So
Right.
he was confused, like,
Right. Yeah.
but you know,
Yeah. Now, because in the Bay Area, there's only like about 10 or 12 black people out there, something like that.
well, no, in Oakland it's a lot of people, and in Stockton,
Yeah.
but all of the other areas is all non-black.
Right.
Yeah,
So okay. So if indeed, because you had Tuskegee and Tuskegee experiment and so forth, and there have been studies that have been done that doctors and nurses don't perceive black men as being in as much pain as any other person in the healthcare system and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
super beings.
yeah, and then you had the Shabri Rawls incident. You remember that?
Yes,
So you got crazy broads like her in the mental health care system.
yeah.
What black man in his right mind is going to trust that?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, even if whether you in your right mind or your wrong mind, you're not gonna want to see a doctor. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah,
it's just like I don't even know if a lot of black psychologists or therapists. That's why, I'm a life coach. I've been a life coach since my early 20s. But black men didn't even realize that the entire time I was getting on YouTube making videos as a dating coach, that that's what I was doing. So
yeah,
now, even now, black men are like, "Oh, she can't be a life coach. That's Soncerae," because of the negative stuff that they heard from the Manosphere.
right.
But I've been a life coach the whole time. That's why
Well,
I
well, well,
encourage
to be
men.
well to be fair, I mean, Sansaray, you do have two children out of wedlock. You had your last child was a very very contentious situation with the baby daddy. I mean,
What does my personal life have to do with what I do professionally? They don't
because
go
because
together.
because for black people, and
That's
I was
not a good
watching
idea.
and I was watching something that Dr. Umar Johnson. I've been a critic of his, but when you're right, you're right. I was watching a clip of a brother he sent to me of Dr. Umar Johnson, and he was talking about the selective outrage. He was talking regarding my dearly departed good friend and brother Saint Kevin Samuels. He was referring
Oh
to him,
Lord.
we gotta talk about
First of
that.
all,
Right?
let me share something
Yeah,
with you. Let me share
yeah,
something with you.
yeah.
Um,
Well, but before you do that, I was just making the point that Dr. Umar Johnson was talking about the selective morality, selective
but
outrage
you
a
cut
lot of
me
black
off
people
before I
have.
could even finish what I was
Yeah,
saying.
go ahead.
I was
I
like,
just want to
nigga,
clear that
do
up. Yeah,
not come. Listen, I don't really like anything that has to do with Kevin Samuels because of how much division it caused. But when we're
how
sitting
did
here,
it
we're
cause
talking about.
division? He brought people together.
Okay, let's scroll back together. Boy, bye.
Yeah,
Let me let me scroll back for a second.
he got like a
Cause
dozen
you
couples
cause you
in
so
Vegas.
listen.
Yeah,
When we're sitting here and we're expressing opinions about the things that we think,
yeah.
why in the world would you bring out personal stuff about me if we're talking about opinion that we're generalizing?
Well,
When
well,
you guys try,
what I'm
listen,
saying.
listen,
Yeah, go ahead.
listen. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. You want to know why we don't have any solution based conversation?
Okay.
Is because you tried to use the fact that two men I was with didn't marry me as a reason to not listen to what I have to say simply because they chose something different in their life. My daughter's father and I were together since we were teenagers, and our daughter is 21 now. He has been an amazing father. He's a good friend. We still cool. He coming to visit us next week. We have a great friendship and a great co-parenting relationship.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we are good. All
Okay.
right, just because we didn't decide to be together doesn't mean he a bad person or I'm a bad person. We
Okay.
just
All right.
decided not to do that.
Okay.
My son's father, on the other hand, he decided to start listening to the negative shit that the black manosphere was telling him.
You're
It
gonna
wasn't.
blame
Listen
the
to
black
me.
manosphere for this?
Listen to me. Listen. He's the type of man that follows behind. You know how people who are like extremely, you can influence them to do whatever. They believe in like conspiracy theories and all types of shit. They follow behind just anyone and
Okay.
anything without thinking
Right.
first.
Right.
That was him. So his ass, I'm not blaming the black manosphere because he chose that. He chose that. He could have told y'all to fuck off and mind your business, but
Right.
that's not what he did. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my fault. We were supposed to be married. The whole point was to be married. He decided that he wanted to still be single, sleep with his exes, and he's divorced. Like, people keep thinking, oh, he left me and he's still married to this woman that he supposedly left me with. No, he is divorced and he's dating some new chick, I think. But it's not my fault, the choices that these men made. And a lot of time y'all try to make it seem like, oh, it's my fault because they chose not to marry me, so you shouldn't listen to anything that I say to help you as a man, to help you make better decisions for you as a man. Like, it's like when you and I were talking about elixir earlier, when I said
Right.
men have all of the power inside of their elixir.
Right.
Would you still listen to me telling you that?
Well, I mean, what you're saying there isn't wrong. I mean, I would say that
Okay.
I would say that there's a lot of truth in that. Yeah.
Right. So just because you disagree with something that I say doesn't mean, oh, let me throw the fact that she's a single mom in her face. Because, see, sometimes I am saying some stuff that benefits y'all. I
Well,
don't
well,
want.
well, the problem is that you don't have a track record that's public knowledge of you being able to deal with a man for any extended length of time in a positive way. I
But I
think
don't,
that's the
because I
problem.
don't, I'm not walking around running my mouth all the time. Y'all think I run my mouth because I don't know. I just feel like just talking. But my personal life is personal to me. So I keep it to myself. But y'all think everything y'all know about me is my entire life. No, it's just a lot of stuff I just don't tell y'all. Now,
What you said.
but how come y'all try to make it seem like my daughter's father is like this bad relationship? He and I have a great relationship. Like, we
Right.
good.
Yeah.
Why don't y'all ever count that as like proof
Well,
that?
to be fair, you never really talk about him much. You
Yes,
know.
I do. Yes, I do. People who follow me and listen to my content, I talk about him all of the time in
Okay.
my live streams, all of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me get this straight. I just want to make sure I got this right. Your son's baby daddy was okay until he got wind of the Black Manosphere, and that just screwed his head up. Do
Well,
I have that
yeah, it
right?
was all that from what I've seen. Cause, see, we didn't start having problems until after he started like interacting with the Manosphere, and he would come home and start talking to me and in the terms y'all use. Cause, see, before that, he didn't know anything about the Manosphere.
All right. So
Before he started dating me,
what
he didn't know
terms
that.
did he use that you attribute to the Black Manosphere? I want to
Like,
hear.
he was like, y'all terms different now. Back then,
All right. Well, give me the terms that was using back then.
back then, the names that they were calling me that I'm not going to repeat, he was calling me those names.
Okay.
He was saying
Okay. References to you aside,
references to me.
what
Those
else
are
would
the
you say?
only,
That's the only
excuse
thing.
me, the references to me
Yeah.
and the like principles that y'all had during that time.
All right. So
He
what?
started applying to our
Name me just
relationship.
name me just a few, and you don't have to do all of them, but just name me just a few principles from the Black Manosphere that your son's baby daddy got that you say
Okay.
contributed
Oh,
to screw
okay.
y'all.
We could use the obvious one. Oh, you're a single mom. Cause see, think about this. He was married to someone for a long time. She was a single mother when he met her. They didn't have any kids. So apparently he had no issue with women being single mothers. He had no problem with that. But suddenly we dating, and now he watching the Manosphere, and now suddenly he got a problem with single mothers. He didn't really too much have a problem with my hair because I had natural hair. Like, y'all think all I wear is weave and makeup. Now, offline, I don't wear that shit. I only wear that shit online. Welcome to my side of the internet. My name is Soncerae Monique. I'm a certified life coach for both men and women. I have a 50-50 audience, so I try to play fair with both genders. I'm going to keep it real with both of y'all. Everybody can improve because everybody is a part of the problem. I want everyone to unify and produce loving unions. Hopefully you do too. There is no gender war here. I promote positive perspectives and healthy debate, so be careful what you post inside of my comment section. It is very much okay to disagree, but have emotional intelligence and release toxicity elsewhere, ladies and gents. Don't take it out on each other. Make sure you follow me on all of my socials. Go to SonceraeMonique.com to purchase any of my books or to sign up on any of my membership sites. Thank you for spending time with me. Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.